Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Lynn Carey, and I am here to speak with you today because I feel like it is my duty as a chiropractor, someone who has had 25 years in the healing profession, to share their opinion about what's going on today. It's really, really upsetting me to see what's happening. And I see this term, a conspiracy theory is running all around, and I never was aware of that before until maybe the last couple of years I heard that term. So I want to ask you if you think I'm a conspiracy theorist, or am I someone who just thinks for myself and through my own life experiences has learned to make empowering choices for herself. And when I first got out of chiropractic school, I was big into pushing anti-medicine stuff, anti-medical world, because I saw all the damage and the corruption that was going on. And after the first 5 years, I really switched myself into just being an example of a higher vibration, empowering people to trust that they can heal themselves, to empower people that they can make other decisions besides what mainstream life is showing them, and to lead by example. I'll be 46 years old this month, and my life just kept getting better and better until this quarantine happened, and I realized there's a problem. I have to start speaking up because I just minded my own business. So I remember when I started chiropractic school back in 1994, we were watching 2020 news because they were having something on chiropractic, and they were slanderizing us, putting false information about chiropractors on 2020 news. And I was new to the industry, but I had just come out of 5 years of hell in my own healing world, non-healing world, because I was in the medical world for 5 years as a patient, and no one could help me. I kept going to different doctors, asking why I kept getting sick, and all they could do is write me another prescription. Or they would look at me like I had 3 heads, because I kept saying, why do I keep getting sick? Isn't there something wrong? And I remember nobody had an answer, and I'm thinking, these people don't know what's wrong with me. And even bigger than that, I didn't even piece together that the surgery they gave me when I was 15 should have never been done. They butchered my spine, and nobody questions it. So when I watched 2020 in 1994 and I saw that they were putting false truths about chiropractic, I'm like, how is that allowed? Why are they allowed to say that stuff? And people who were aware and said, big pharmaceutical companies pay for programming. And I was like, oh my God, you mean the information that the mainstream gets is paid by pharmaceutical companies and people who have money, who have agendas? This is back in 1994, so I was aware of that. Then through chiropractic school, in order to get our license, we had to kind of sell our soul. We sold our souls a little bit, because really, I don't even want to be called a doctor, because if that associates me with the medical world, I never wanted to be a part of that. I wanted something different. But in order for us to get our license and our doctor title, we had to pass all these medical boards, and I learned what the medical people do, and I realized, I'm like, oh, they really don't know anything about health and healing, and they don't know the answers. So you can go to your doctor and give them all these different symptoms, and all they know how to do is give you a label, and then either a drug or they want to cut it out. And it usually causes more damage. The drugs cause damage, the surgeries are usually, 99% of them are unnecessary, and it starts a downward spiral, and it affects your immune system. So then I started to heal myself, started getting adjusted, started changing my lifestyle, started changing my mindset, started getting rid of the fear that I couldn't heal. It was like another 5-year journey, and I got better. And even today, I'm better than ever. Like, I don't even do any healing work because I'm just healed. Like, I know how to align myself with my mind. I know how to change my vibration, because we're all energy. That's to that point. But I don't expect the average person to understand that, because it's a journey, but you can get there. And I have books on that stuff, and I figured it out I figured out these things were going on before. Now we have research backing what I do. That's what's even funny. I didn't need the research. I just thought for myself all the time. I don't think we have spare parts. I don't think we're destined to get certain diseases. I don't even believe in disease. I'll be honest, I don't believe in disease, because if you really understand how the body heals, and I know how I heal, I'll come in contact with anything. So when they continually propagate that kind of fear I don't care if they call it COVID. I don't care what they call it. I don't have any fear. And I feel so bad that people are so afraid. And then I see people who have no health awareness at all preaching to other people or calling people out for not wearing a mask. Masks don't even do anything. You people look like idiots. And they're doing this as an assault on our humanity. We're afraid to be near each other. We're afraid to talk to each other. We're covering our mouths. We can't even communicate with each other. It's so detrimental. So, and then in the 18 years that I had my own practice, do you know how many people would come in with their x-ray reports from the medical doctors on their spine? All this medical jargon listed. And the doctor usually didn't know what to do it for them, or they would give them muscle relaxers, or they wanted to do surgery. I thought 18 years, all that time, it never ceased to amaze me that the medical people never understood the spine. I think it's one of the easiest things to understand, but they don't understand it. So why are there all these differing opinions going on out there in the world? Because it's a practice. And I'll tell you, we as our small human mind don't understand the great dynamic of this human body. We don't know. We do not know. So I've made my own choices. I have become I know that my body heals all the time. I have no fear. No fear about catching anything, ever. I never did, even when this was first announced. I just was going to be like, oh, here's another disease coming out. This is what they do all the time. And people fall for it, and we get back to business. I just ignore it. This time I couldn't ignore it. They quarantined us. And the worst part is, and so, not only did I figure out my health, and during all those 18 years in practice, you know what? Until to this day, I feel bad when I hear someone's going, oh, I have to go see my doctor. I have this or this wrong. I'm afraid for them. I don't always verbalize it. Sometimes I do if there's an opening, because I know you can't talk to brainwashed people. They have to go through their journey. But I'm afraid. I'm like, I hope they make it out alive. I hope they make it out without more damage if they're going to go see a medical doctor. Because if you're going to go see a medical doctor, you're opening up Pandora's box for a lot of problems. I see it all the time. All the time. And then I used to have to try to fix all the medical damaged people who used to come see me after they didn't believe me the first time. They'd still go the medical route, have the same problems when they left, and then they would listen to me and try something alternative. I see it all the time. Terrible. And then we're praising healthcare workers. People are honking horns for the front lines or the whatever workers we're supposed to be praising at 8 o'clock at night. That's weird. That's like a brainwashing too. I don't want to praise the healthcare workers. The ones I want to praise are the ones who are speaking out that this is wrong. But you know what's happening to them? There's a lot of MDs speaking like chiropractors now. I can't believe it. I agree with him 100%. Never in a million years did I think I would say that. That I'm seeing a lot of MDs speak the way I would as a chiropractor, calling all this out, but they're being censored. They're being taken down off social media. They're being labeled conspiracy theorists. And I'm like, I didn't realize a conspiracy theorist meant you just think for yourself and you make your own decisions. And that's what's even more disturbing, especially in the United States. Aren't we supposed to be a free country? And I ignored a lot of things too, because I just wanted to take care of my own life and make myself, live my best life. I didn't realize that our rights were being taken away, that we're slowly slipping into a communist society. Now we can't even have a say. Even as an educated person, I can't have a say how I take care of my body. Something's wrong. This whole thing is a scam. In my own opinion, there is no disease. People die every day. I don't care what you call it. The immune compromised, how about we call them medical dysfunction? How about we call them all these people who went their whole lives through the medical system? That's why they were left beat up, barely alive, and we call them immune dysfunction or immune compromised. The nursing homes are filled with people who've lost control of their health. That shouldn't be. We should own our health. You can keep getting better and better with age. I disagree with all that. They're beat up from all the medical stuff that they had done to them. No wonder they're compromised. This is such a crap from every which angle. I cannot stay silent on this. 911, I remember when that happened, I didn't understand what happened. All I knew is that we never flew the same again, right? Every time you went to fly, never the same. Then I found out, the Patriot Act, there was massive surveillance going on all the time, but that really didn't affect me directly, right? So that didn't really open my eyes as much. I thought, that's a problem. But I didn't see how it would affect me because I really wasn't hiding anything, right? 2008, I got caught in the down cycle of the market, and I knew they never fixed it. I knew what it took for me to untangle myself from that situation in 2008, and I knew nothing changed, so I knew something was wrong. The last few years, to really understand economics, I really started understanding how our economics run in the United States. And it's not a free system. The Federal Reserve is a banking cartel. It's based on communist banking principles, Marxist, fascism, banking principles. The government keeps intervening. Do you want to know why you can't barely pay your bills? Why the cost of living keeps going up? And then you have to pay income tax on top of that? It's because of the Federal Reserve Bank. It's not even in our Constitution that we're meant to pay income tax. There's a lot of stuff messed up here that we need to clean up. And I see what's coming down the pike. So I've learned about vaccinations from 1994. I knew 1986, Big Pharma got let off. They're not responsible for any damage done to people from their vaccines. So after in 1986, the rate of autism went up tremendously. All these damaged kids from the vaccination schedule. And they call you anti-vaxxers and criminal because you don't want to vaccinate your kids, or you want to do less, or you want to wait till they're older or make decisions for yourself. They act like you're crazy. I don't vaccinate. I would never put those poisons in my kid. So I know what's coming next. All my worlds have collided into this coronavirus right now, and I'm fully aware of what's going on. So I'm really sorry for all you who think we should be still quarantining, social distancing, and wearing masks. It's time for you to wake up because we're going to the slaughterhouse. There's a new bill being passed, HR 6666. You can't make this stuff up, right? They want to do, it's about contract tracing. They want to allow themselves, the big brother, to come into your house and test you, and if you have the coronavirus, they can take you away or take your kids away to quarantine you. This sounds like Nazism all over again. They want to chip us with their vaccination. Bill Gates is running everything. He funds everything because it's never been about the people. It's always been about Big Pharma and whoever has the money. And if you just have to follow the money to see what's happening, follow the money. And the media should be in jail for what they're doing to us. They are terrorizing humanity. We're losing our humanity. And I can't believe the people who are so snowed by it and so brainwashed that they can't see what's going on. It's horrific. So I read a book by a concentration camp survivor. This woman is in her 90s. She's amazing. Her name is Dr. Edith Eva Edgar, and she wrote The Choice. And her life was amazing, how wise she is and what she did with it. But what I remember, because I used to try to figure out how did we get to the point where we put people in concentration camps? That's just, I can't even hear about it. That makes me so upset. She said, when Hitler, well, not even when Hitler was back in the day when Hitler was running Germany, she was from Hungary. They heard hearsay, like her neighbors or people that they knew would say, hey, you're Jewish, you ought to get out of here because they're taking people away. They didn't know what that meant. But they didn't believe it. They're like, our government would never let that happen. They didn't believe them. Like, you can't believe something like that could happen. I'm one of those. I never believed something like that could happen. Well, I'm telling you right now, I'm knocking on your door. I'm your neighbor. Just like her neighbor tried to warn her. Wake up. We don't have to take this. We need to take back our rights. Stop being afraid of the coronavirus. It's scamming us. And we are losing our rights one by one if we don't wake up. There's a lot more of us that we can wake up and have a voice and stand for ourselves and our freedom. I know if we got rid of all this corruption going on in the world, I have answers now. We can live the most amazing lives. Healthy, wealthy, happy, creating, being the dynamic creators that we were here to be. We have to get rid of these small amount of people who are ruining the world and stop being brainwashed by them. Wake up. So if you consider me a conspiracy theorist, then so be it. I call myself someone who thinks for myself. And I am hoping that I'm waking other people up to think for themselves too. It only takes one of us to educate another and to educate another into another way of thinking. And it's scary to speak up because now you're getting slandered. That's what they want. They want to divide and conquer us. If we all fight each other, people are fighting each other over politics. Are you kidding me? The same few control both sides of the politics. I don't care if you're Democrat or Republican. The same money controls both sides, and they play it the way they want. I laugh. I have friends who watch the debates. I'm like, how does that? They don't solve anything when you watch those debates. I heard the term bread and circus. They give the people, as long as people are fed and have entertainment, they don't question anything. Are you one of those people? I've questioned everything. And I found answers and a better way of living because of it. I can't settle for bread and circus. And I hope you won't either. So I hope this wakes you up. I have tons of information to share with you on another perspective. If you want it, put it in the comments, let me know. Reach out to me. I really want to make this a better world. And I'm speaking out, especially on behalf of the children, on behalf of my son. I don't like what I'm seeing being created in the world. I would have never brought my son into a world like this if I knew it was this bad. We have to get back to our freedom.